And one thing I have to ask you is that,
Sure.
you're doing these videos when you're going to out on the street, approaching people. I think this takes a lot of guts. Have you always been so outgoing, or are you outgoing now, or when did this happen, or is it something that you basically have needed to develop, or what's the situation like? Because I think, wow, Walter is like, look
Actually,
at
like,
him.
yeah, people would not expect this probably, but I was very shy in the past. Like, actually, also a bit, also inconfident, and well, let's say like this. The yeah, I was like more an introvert, like I'm also an artist.
Mm, of
I
course.
was thinking a lot of people didn't understand me, like that, with drawing and doing stuff like that. And I was an introvert, but because of the languages, well, I'm not sure if the languages changed me. Maybe
Mm,
they get another part out of me, maybe because of the language learning circumstances, it made me more relaxed, like it's the same as like if you have a rabbit who was like living in the forest, yeah, that rabbit would be different if that rabbit would be in a house with people, for 5 years. However, it's still the same rabbit, right? That's basically what I mean, I'm the same person. My personality didn't change, but it developed more in a way that I'm more feeling more relaxed to talk to people. Also, when you're making videos for a long time, you're getting more used to comments, as what I said before, like criticism. You
yes.
handle it better, and at the beginning, I was not so good at it. So, for example, like even some people didn't like me at all at the beginning. Some of them they became friends of me, like, and we got a good connection because we were talking to each other. So I basically want to say to people, talk to each other. Like if you have different ideas, different approaches, talk about it because like you're closer to each other than you might think, and that's interesting. If you can inspire each other and make each other 2 times stronger by exchanging your ideas about languages, but telling how you can inspire someone else. I think that's a very very cool thing. And
Right.
yeah, but how I changed, yeah, like I mean, yeah, by doing something a lot, you will become more confident. So uh, yeah, I think that's the story. I'm
Of
just used
course.
to strangers,
Wow.
and it's not strange
And
anymore.
that's
Yeah,
really the beauty of language in general, is that when you are able to speak to one another, you are able to connect, you're able to get rid of these kind of negative feelings or um, just outlooks or whatever. You understand that we're all just people. And that, I think that's one of the key essence of learning languages, is that you have more of an ability to do that with more people. In your
yeah,
video that we did together, I was talking about how I want to really motivate people to learn a language, or let's say maybe one day I could start a school where little kids can study Spanish, because I think that if Americans could start incorporating foreign languages in their lives, like they're going to have amazing experiences, but just see the world through a different way. And I, as someone who was monolingual for a long time, I know how much this has changed me, and I just want other people to realize the beauty of language. And if they study language, they can have amazing experiences, or they can really help make the world a better place, as
yeah. But I
sappy
think
as
it's
that sounds.
important to keep in mind that like when you are hearing something like feedback, or like why are people afraid to approach strangers? Because they are maybe afraid to get how do you say it, like to be ignored or whatever, like, or that people will
Mhm.
laugh about them. But I think it's very important to realize that everyone is different, and that you should never allow that one experience is dominating other experiences, like, so if someone is not nice to you, well, talk to someone else, and maybe that person is more nice. And also keep in mind that what people are saying is not always what they're meaning, so it's the same with
Mm.
I think you've talked to yeah, like I mean, you've met different women. I mean, you're a good looking guy, and I mean,
Oh,
like,
thanks.
well, it's your first compliment of today, but I mean, like, for example,
I'll be
if
waiting for my next one.
if a woman is saying to you like, oh, your hair is so long and it looks so weird and whatever, and laughing a little bit about it, it doesn't mean she doesn't like you. She could also
Oh,
like it because she's paying attention on that, like, Otherwise, you wouldn't even look at it, and she would also not say it. And that's the same thing with reactions of people. What they're saying is not always what they mean. They can also mean the opposite. They can also, yeah, when someone is saying you're awkward, it could be negative, but it doesn't have to be negative.
Mm.
It could also mean that they would feel awkward under the same circumstance.
Absolutely. Wow, what a good
It could
point.
mean you're different. It could mean you're different, or
Or
it
you
could.
doing something that they wish they could do that they just don't do,
Yeah, but it
right?
also mean it the negative. I mean, and man, like people can think what they want. I mean, if they think I'm awkward in a negative way, okay, they can have that opinion. I mean, they're free to have an opinion. I, not everyone has to be happy. I mean, come on. But I mean, why why are people so interested in awkward videos? Can you answer the question then? Because